Hey guys, it's Jules here. Today I just wanted to do this quick little video showing you how I do my everyday foundation routine with a little bit of contouring and blush as well. I just wanted to do this because in a lot of my videos I like to save time, and so I'll skip ahead and, skip the part that everyone kind of does on their own. Obviously my foundation routine isn't going to work the same for you as it does for everybody else. So it's just kind of something, people are interested in, but at the same time, I don't want to slow down every other one of my videos showing you guys. So if you'd like to know how it goes, just keep watching. First, just gotta start by putting my hair back. It does get a little messy for me now that my hair is a little bit shorter. I'm just gonna pin my hair back as well, and we'll zoom you in. Alright, so the first thing I like to do is spray with this Urban Decay, the primer spray, the prep spray, the B6 one. I really like this one because it reduces redness, or so it claims. I just really like the idea of spraying to start off. I think, it works nicely for me. Alright, then I'm going to go ahead and with the Too Faced Poreless Primer. Or Primed Poreless, my bad. This is a pretty good primer. It's really, really silicone-y. I don't know if anybody really cares about that. I don't know if I'm necessarily going to repurchase it. It's doing its job right now, but I don't particularly love it or hate it for any reason. And I'm pretty oily in my T-zone, so I just make sure to get primer everywhere, rub it in nicely under the eyes. Alright. The thing I don't like about this one is it makes my fingers so slippery that I just don't know what to do. Alright, so now for my foundation, I have been using the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation in the color 2C1 Pure Beige 77. And I did pick this up when I was working at Macy's because I did a couple shifts at Estee Lauder, and I had heard that this is a really nice one. It's super full coverage. Well, for me at least, I don't really have a lot to cover, just, some acne scars, basic stuff like that. But it's really nice. It works for me. I've worn it in Las Vegas when it's extremely hot. It doesn't move, doesn't budge, and it's not very heavy. I don't think it feels super heavy. I've never really had a foundation heavier than this in the coverage, but this definitely feels pretty light on the skin. So I'm just going to use a little flat top brush. This one right here, it's a little bit dirty. Excuse me on that one. And I just like to pour a little bit out on my hand. I wish it had a pump or something. I don't know why it doesn't, but then I just like to put that all over and just brush that out. For some reason, this color, I've never really been a beige before because my skin is pretty light. I'm usually fair or, light or cream or something like that. But for some reason in this foundation, I am the beige color. It can be a little bit dark on me sometimes depending on the day, so I just make sure to go all the way down on my neck with this one. And I have a pimple on my neck today. That's lovely. But yeah, I find that since it's such a thick foundation, I can't really use my beauty blender, or I haven't found a way to make it look good with the beauty blender and not look patchy. So I do just like hitting it with that flat top brush. Yeah, it's washing me out so much on camera, but I promise it's not so white. I wonder why it's making me look like that. Okay. And I wouldn't say that it has a matte foundation. I think it starts to be a little bit dewy of a finish foundation. So I do like to set it with a little bit of powder, especially before I start doing my contouring. That way it doesn't just stick. But if you wanted to leave it like this, you definitely could. I just prefer to be matte since I am a little bit oily anyways. Alright, so next for my concealer, I don't really have too much going on here, just a little bit of darkness. So I do like to use the Benefit Fake Up, which is pretty light coverage, I'd say. I use the one in the color Light, as I'm sure you can tell. I like this one because it's really moisturizing. When I worked at Macy's, I did work at Benefit as well. And this one has a lot of different essential oils in it, so it reduces the possibility that it's going to cake underneath your eyes. And I just take my same foundation brush and kind of pat that out. And blending is really important with your concealer. You just want to make sure that you're not wiping away what you just put down. So I just like to use, my different brushes. I'll sometimes use the brush that I put my foundation on, or I come in with this little tinier brush right here just to blend that. I like to pat it. That also helps it from creasing. Alright, so what I like to do next to set that, because I do just want to make sure that it doesn't move anywhere or that it doesn't get any crease, I found this actually amazing high definition under eye setting powder from e.l.f., which I know I was like, whoa, I did not think I was going to end up liking it so much. I think next time I shop at e.l.f. I'm going to get the one for the whole face. I think it might be the same powder, but it's really good. It's super fine, lightweight, it doesn't cake up at all. So I just like to take that same brush I was using, put a little bit on there. Just pat that right underneath the eyes. And that really just helps set that concealer. Alright, so now that we have the under eye set, I like to set the face and the under eye at a different time because the colors are a lot different, so I use the clear translucent under eye powder to do that. And for my face, since this color in the summer is a little bit light for me, even though it's making me look so pale on camera, I don't know why. I like to mix these two things if I want to get super extra coverage. This is the Milani, what is it called? Even Touch Powder Foundation in number 2 Fresco. It looks super light on camera. It's actually pretty dark. Let's see if you can see that swatch better. Maybe it just seems dark to me, but they only have 2 light colors in their collection for the Milani for the powder, and the other one was basically white, like super white. So I had to get this one, and it is a little bit orange on my skin tone, but I think the balance of, these two together and this just applied really lightly does work for me. So I like to just take a large stippling brush like this and just dab that on. Gives me a little bit of color, as well as a little bit of extra coverage. It's so funny that it's washing me out so much on camera, because it's really actually very dark and tan. Maybe I'll have to move when I'm done and show you guys the finished result, how the colors really look. But yeah. And this is a nice powder too. I think Milani is a really good brand. I actually got this when it was like buy one get one half off at CVS. So I got to give it a try. I got this and one of the mineralized blushes that I really like as well. Of course, I like to bring it down on my neck. Make sure that it's all the same color. But yeah, this is super nice because if you're like me, this is not going to cut it to cut the oil, so putting it with another foundation is really great together. It's a good combination. I wore it to EDC all 3 days, and it's over 100 degrees in Las Vegas, and it held up, so that's definitely a good combination. Alright, so at this point, I think my foundation has settled down. It's not so sticky. I, set it with all those powders. I think that we're ready to contour. I do want to start getting into like a cream bronzer contour because for some reason, sometimes like it just gets super patchy for me right here. But this has been working for me for so long using this Rimmel Natural Bronzer. This is in 022 Sun Bronze. I was using the lighter one in the winter when I was less tan, but this is great. This is a drugstore shimmer free. Is it shimmer free? It's pretty much as matte as you're gonna get at the drugstore. I think, yeah. There's a swatch for you right there. It has a tiny bit of shimmer, but when you put it on, you really don't notice, and it's really good for contouring and bronzing and stuff like that. So what I like to do is take a little flat top brush, similar to the one that we put our concealer with, but this is, just a little bit firmer. I like it because it has the angles, helps me get right in there and, cut that crease. So I like to just swirl it around. tap, tap. I like to suck in because you really just want to hit underneath the cheekbones. I kind of want to make a line like right with your tragus, I guess, if you know what that is. This little thing in your ear. Kind of try and make a line right under your cheekbone and aim for there for contouring. And I just start going pretty light. You don't want to just, plop it on. And then I also like to bring it under my chin a little bit, just on the edges. Make sure to blend it out. We don't want our contour to be too intense. Usually I start doing my nose after that, but I'll do the other cheek first today. For some reason, I always have more trouble contouring my left cheek than my right cheek. I think it's just the way that my face is shaped. But yeah. I don't even really try and like contour, do any crazy shapes with my face. I just like to, bronze and make it a little bit more defined. So, everyone has their own techniques with contouring and something that feels comfortable to them. So do it however much you feel comfortable. If you just want to, use a little bronzer on the cheeks to make it a little bit darker, that totally works too. Don't feel like you have to do the Kim Kardashian contour routine in order to feel good about yourself. Yeah, so then I go with the nose, and I just make sure to hit like this straight line with the straight line of my nose. Just because I have a big honking nose. I hit a little bit under as well. Woo-hoo. Sorry, my allergies are a little bit bad today. Then I like to hit the top of the forehead. Alright, so that's pretty much as much contouring as I do. I don't really like to go too far into it. And I don't like to use too dark of colors. So this is a really nice color that matches my skin tone pretty well. I don't feel the need to buy like a dark foundation and use that. So this one works well. And then the final most important step of finishing our contour is to blend, because you don't want those harsh lines. You don't want little patches like this and on the nose and stuff. So just going to take that same brush that we used to apply the powder and just blend it out a little bit. Especially during the daytime, it's nice to have a little bit of definition, but you don't want it to look too much. Or if you do, go for it, but I don't. Okay. Blendy blend blend. Alright, so this is pretty much how I would finish doing my face. After this, I would pop on a little bit of blush. I'm going to be doing a makeup tutorial later, so I usually do the blush at the end because I never know, what type of blush I want to use. I don't usually choose the blush before the eyeshadow, so, I usually do it in that order. But since I do know what eyeshadow look I'm going to be doing today, I am going to just pop on a little bit of blush. This is beautiful, this e.l.f. blush. It's called Mellow Mauve. Their blushes are amazing. And this one is just a really nice taupey color, super natural and subtle. I love this blush. So if I ever want to do a natural look, or if I have a crazy eye and I don't know what type of blush, this is my go-to natural blush. So this is just another stippling brush from e.l.f. And you just want to put it right on top of that contour that you just did. Helps if you smile. I'm not just smiling because I'm happy. And you want to kind of mix the contour and the blush together, just where they come together. You don't want to put the blush on top of the contour, just a little bit on top. And then you can see it starts to come together where it has a little bit of the definition as well as the blush, and since you have the concealer right under your eye, it starts to form that highlight. And if you wanted to put a highlighter on, which I usually also do at the end of my look as well, then you can do that right on there. I think I'm going to apply some highlighter, so I'll go grab that. Alright, so the highlighter that I like to use is the MAC Mineralize Skin Finish in Soft and Gentle. I'm sure many of you have probably heard of that, and if you haven't, it's just a really nice highlight. It's a little bit peachy brown, pretty subtle. I'll show you that little swatch right there. And it's really nice to use, you know, just as a subtle highlight, but it definitely shows up and stays on all night. And I just like to use it with this little fan brush right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that on right on my cheeks. Depending where I'm going, you can use a lot of highlighter or a little bit of highlighter. I usually like to use kind of a lot. I do down the middle of my nose and sometimes a little bit on the cheeks right here. But yeah. So this is basically my everyday foundation routine. I really shouldn't say everyday because I honestly don't wear makeup every day. I love the feeling of not wearing makeup as much as I love the feeling of wearing makeup. But this is just what I would do, you know, my go-to foundation routine, along with what I would do with the contouring and the blush and the highlight. So I really hope that you enjoy how to do this. I hope it was easy to learn from. I am going to be doing some more makeup tutorials coming up, but I just wanted to make this as a, you know, general foundation routine so you guys can see what I use before I do my eyeshadow and the other makeup that I put on. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this. I hope you can tell that it does actually match my skin pretty well. It was super washing me out there, but yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and put them below, and if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. Have a good day, guys. Love you. Bye.